The energy of God, the energy of source, of the universe, whatever you want to call it, there is only one energy. This energy is always seeking to uplift you. It is always seeking to make your life much easier, much more enjoyable. It's always seeking to move you into a higher level of this game called life. Every single time that you speak out of turn, every single time that you give people advice when they haven't asked you for it, every time you get defensive or reactive, or you're busy arguing for one of your limitations, meaning you're busy protecting a belief of yours that isn't even true. It's just a belief that's limiting you, a belief that isn't serving you. I can go on and on. Basically, every time you do this, you are interrupting the flow of life. You are blocking your blessings, truly. All this energy wants you to do, because it's intelligent, is it wants you to allow it in and allow it through. It almost has to get ahead of you. It has to get ahead of you. It has to get quicker than your ego. See, our ego wants to dominate. Our ego is self-sabotaging. It wants to disrupt this flow. So by getting out of your own way, for instance, a friend is telling you their problems, and you're like, oh, it'll be okay, don't worry. You're interrupting the flow. By getting out of your own way and instead feeling the urge, the urge to say something, in feeling that urge and not acting on it, you are allowing the energy of God, of Source, to get ahead of you. What do you think your emotions are? Your emotions are this energy that is moving through you in hopes of getting ahead of you. See, people don't understand that the remote controller of this game is in your hands. It really is. It's all a matter of choice. So it's a matter of becoming more aware of that part of you that bucks the current of all of the amazingness that's begging you to let it in. You got it? That's all. So by becoming increasingly aware of your urges that are not coming from spirit, they're coming from ego, then you'll be more equipped to enable this energy to get ahead of you. And it's at that point that everything is going to pull together in your life. Because now you've gotten out of the way. You're not controlling anything anymore. See, a lot of people give you advice because they're uncomfortable when you share your uncomfortableness. Your uncomfortableness, your pain, your struggles, they threaten the people around you. But there's nothing wrong with you. You're allowed to share what you're going through. You are. And if I can't listen to you, I'm shooting myself in the foot. I'm missing out on an opportunity for the universe, for the energy of God to get ahead of me. And at that point, it would pull me along. It would propel me on my path. There's not much I would need to do anymore, right? So pay attention the next time you're listening to a friend. Pay attention the next time you might get reactive. Feel this energy move through you instead. Get out of your own way. What do you think that is? It's movement. It's the energy of the universe swirling and whirling in you, reorganizing your life. But you can't see this activity, but you can feel it, right? You can feel it. You're always proud of yourself when you zip it. Why? Because you're listening, you're tuning in, you're paying attention. This is all a game of awareness. The more aware you become, the better your life gets, without fail. The less aware you are, the worse your life gets. Because the less aware you are, the more you control things from an unconscious place. You're not letting the universe do its thing. You're not letting source do its thing. You got to let it do its thing. How do you do that? You got to get out of your way. If I say something that pisses you off and you're confident in who you are, you have nothing to defend, do you? No, you have nothing to defend. You have nothing to protect. If you do, it means that you're still feeding into your own limitations. The limitlessness of this universe is trying to pierce through you. It wants to get ahead of your ego. It wants to get ahead of all of your tendencies that are preventing you from manifesting. Right? So you almost have to think of yourself as the ego. Because most of what you've done has gotten in the way of what you want. You have to think of yourself as the ego. And from now on, you're going to domesticate your ego. You're going to say, sit, stay. Don't interrupt this person. Listen to them. Don't give your advice if they haven't asked you for it. Listen to them. Don't get defensive. Just feel why you're being defensive. And by feeling that, you are feeling it. You're witnessing in real time the energy of the universe moving through you and going out into the world to get ahead of you to then pull you along. At that point, you don't need to make choices anymore. This intelligence is making choices for you. Truly, because you're in alignment with it. You're out of alignment when you try to control everything, when you think you know more, when you give people advice when they haven't asked you for it. This is how it works, my friends. All right? So just become acutely aware of when it is that you interrupt the flow of life. Become one with the flow. Observe what's coming up for you when people open up to you. Observe how your heart wants to contract when someone professes their love for you. Observe when you do put up walls and you're not letting someone in. You are blocking your own blessings because you're in resistance to the very thing that you want. You want a better life, right? You want the universe to make decisions for you, right? Isn't that much easier? You want to have clarity, don't you? So get out of your own way and let this energy get ahead of you. That's the secret. That is the secret. I love you, my friends.